Open line, 4th of July. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do us well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Do not forget to ring the notification bell. If you want to support this independent national college football's rebel outpost with a donation, we'll get to your super chat as quick as we possibly can. Welcome everybody into the studio that sits on the corner, the very corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to become a legend with your comments and with your phone calls. We're going to keep it very simple on this 4th of July. Saturday night is all right for PATC. We are 9 Saturdays away. 9 Saturdays away from the college football season. Let's go. Let's go. It's going to be open line. We're going to open up the lines real early. And basically, you want to call in. We'll talk college football. We'll chop it up. If you don't want to call in, we'll call it an early night. And that's fine. I just wanted to give everybody an opportunity after you've eaten your pig roast and all that you do on 4th of July. I wanted to give people an opportunity to talk college football. I've had quite a few DMs today asking me, are you going to have a show? Are you going to have a show? Are you going to have a show? All right, let's have a show. The little general says, let's have a show. We are going to do a show here tonight, but it's going to be really simple. is basically going to be open line 4th of July. Except we're going to be talking a little bit about the Seminoles. Mike Norvell going across the Delaware. There is a hole in the front of that boat. Now, can Mike Norvell, can his job be saved? Do the Florida State Seminole fans, do they even want his job to be saved? In the chat room, in the PATC family, it doesn't look like they want, it's a countdown. There is a countdown on a number of days when the season begins and Florida State can go get a new coach. Because what if Florida State goes 8-4? Is that going to be enough to save the season? 7-5, 8-4, 9-3, no question, will be enough. Do you want an 8-4 season? Do you want an 8-4 season? Mohr Simmons says Mike has to go. Mr. Seminole in the PATC family says he has to go. Daniel Gorby, he does not want Mike Norvell's season to be saved. Daniel Gorby says Norvell's not going to make it. We've got our first super chat, Noah Berman. Thank you so very much for starting us off this beautiful, beautiful evening. Happy 4th, Greg. Happy 250 America. Go Ducks. Go Oregon Ducks. Thank you, Noah Berman. Thank you for the $2 holler. I appreciate it. I don't know what to do here because I think there is some encouraging aspects to this Florida State team. But if I go too optimistic with it, then the Seminole fan base and the PATC family are going to get mad at me. Usually if I go too negative, people get mad at me. This time, if I go too positive, it's a very confusing situation here. But Florida State, here's the thing about Florida State. And I know Mohr Simmons, I'm sure he probably believes this, and Daniel Gorby and everybody else, Rod Nix, all the other Seminoles in the PATC family. The Seminoles got some dudes. They've got some dudes who got their feet wet just a little bit last year. And they may be ready to absolutely explode. They might become stars this year. And if that happens, Mike Norvell's job could very well be saved. We're going to talk about it because tonight we are doing our 66th spotlight. And of course, we are doing it on the old Florida State Seminoles. Osceola is under the big old PATC spotlight tonight on July 4th. 66 out of 68 Power 4 programs. Tonight is 66. The remaining 2 college football programs there we are going to be doing in the next 2 days to finish off the spotlight series of all the Power 4 programs. The only 2 that we haven't done this besides, of course, Florida State, which we're doing tonight, is the Tennessee Volunteers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. We've done all the Big Ten teams. We've done all the Big 12 teams. Tonight, we finish all the ACC teams. And then the next 2 days, we're going to finish off the Southeastern Conference. We have done Notre Dame. Now, after we do Arkansas and Tennessee, we're going to move into G6 country. We are going to do the spotlight on a handful of teams that PATC believes is a threat to get a college football playoff berth in the 2026 season. And I cannot wait to do that. We did not do that last year. We are doing it this year. It has been a long process. 66, our 66th team is going to happen tonight. And it's been great. I've absolutely loved all of it. We have covered over 330, 340 players. It has been an absolute delight. Let's get to it. Let's go through the roll call. Let's go through Florida State. And then we're going to go to your phone calls. Talk about whatever you want to talk about in college football. We're not going to hold you here too long tonight. All right? You got to celebrate with your family, spend time with your loved ones, all that good stuff. Kay Struthers is in the house. Charlie Atwood is here. Anthony Carlson is here. Tom DeBay, Buckeye, Caleb Ramirez, Woody Bortner, Edward, the Auburn, Tiger is in the house. Gavin, yes. Mohr Simmons, Benjamin Griffin. Been hearing good things about Amari Thomas in spring football. Coy is in the house. The notorious Sun Devil. The answer is, I hope not. Well, I think, no, I don't want to. I'll give you what I think. You give me what you think going into this very important season for the Florida State Seminoles, the program, and of course for Mike Norvell. Kenneth Maynor, it is 100 degrees today in North Carolina, and I'm grilling cheeseburgers. No! Not good. Not good at all, Kenneth Maynor. Not good at all. The Almighty is in the house. Norvell has to win 9 this year, 10 next year. He's done at the end of 27 if he doesn't do these two things. Win 9 and win 10. Mike Norvell had 6 years to fix the O-line and has dramatically failed. And that's one of the things, before Mike Norvell came in, Florida State had problems with their offensive line. There are some programs, even some elite programs, who have a history of not being able to create a good offensive line. It is one of those things. Nebraska has gone through that. Sorry, Skaven, yes. Auburn has gone through some of that. Sorry, Edward the Auburn Tiger. South Carolina Gamecocks, and they're not an elite program, but they could be a much better program if they ever had an offensive line that worked. Shane Beamer has not corrected that. And then they get a top line offensive lineman in the portal, and then he gets an injury playing basketball during the off season. So sometimes it just doesn't work out. Frank Potter is in the house. Thanks for coming on in, Frank Potter. I do appreciate it. No, Berman. John Dry is in the house. Mount Rushmore and Lake Meredith are the only two national parks doing fireworks in the public tonight. Sam I Am 8911 is here. That second game, SMU is the key. Then they have to play Bama and Miami close. And then they have to beat Clemson in Florida. Woo, boy. Bob Swanger is in the house. Skaven, yes, still going through it, but I think there's an opportunity now for Nebraska. I think there is. Daniel Gorby, Greg, when you look at Florida State's schedule, find 9 wins for me. I can't find you 9. If I squint really, hard, I can come up with 7 or 8. Can't get to 9. Thank you, Daniel Gorby. I appreciate it. Name a decent quarterback. I did not like last year's quarterback, the Boston College transfer. He did all right, but I did not. You guys know when we did a spotlight on Florida State last year, I kept asking the question, couldn't Florida State do better than that? And then Ashton Daniels, I'm not a believer in Ashton Daniels. I'm a believer in other parts of the Florida State team this year. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it right now. Let's, Chef Mohr. I believe in Norvell. Of course you do, Hurricane. Of course you do. My goodness. All right, let's get to it. The Florida State Spotlight. Number 66 in the offseason. Big time football program. Big time football fan base. They love their Seminoles. Can they turn it around this year? Let's start with the quarterback, Ashton Daniels. His career stats. He barely played last year for Auburn. His career stats. Stanford and Auburn. 47, almost 4,800 yards passing. 24 touchdowns. 22 interceptions. 24-22. Not good. Not good. 60.2 completion percentage. It's serviceable. 120.8 quarterback rating. Not good. You cannot win at the Power 4 level with that type of quarterback rating. Almost 1,400 yards rushing. 11 rushing touchdowns. So again, the Seminoles, Mike Norvell, although they got a new offensive coordinator this year, Galzan moved on. But again, they got a quarterback that is mobile. But I am not a believer. I don't quite understand what Florida State is doing at the quarterback position. Okay, so they're not spending a lot of money in the high school class ranks, but I don't get it. I don't understand how Florida State cannot get a better quarterback. Now, maybe Ashton Daniels, maybe this is the change that he needs. Maybe he's going to surprise everybody. Maybe under this new tutelage of Florida State, Ashton Daniels is going to rise to a whole nother level. He has to. He has to. He's got to. Because if he doesn't, it doesn't matter what the running backs and the wide receivers are at Florida State. It don't matter. He's got to kick it up. And you know what? It's one of those situations where it's not like he hasn't played. So you go talk about that SMU game. We are going to know all about Ashton Daniels in that SMU game. Sorry, not sorry. He's got to know the offense. He's been around the game. He's been at 2 different programs. He went to Florida State. He has faced live bullets. He has gone into live action. It's time for him to play. Kick it up a level. He's got to kick it up a couple of levels. Now he's got a lot of talent around him. Trey Wisener. Trey Wisner, the transfer from Texas. A couple of years ago, he ran over 1,000 yards. This is his career stats: 1,700 yards, 4.7 average per rush, 9 rushing touchdowns, 66 receptions, 457 receiving yards. He can do some damage out of the backfield in the passing game. Trey Wisner can do some damage in the passing game. And look, let's be honest here. We're chopping it up. We're talking college football. All right? Now, Wisner got some playing time a couple of years ago because the Longhorns had a bunch of running back injuries. And he did really good. He did. Last year, he wasn't that player, but this year the Longhorns have got, they've got Raleigh Brown and they've got Hollywood Smothers. They have brought in some more transfers. The Longhorns are stacked. So Wisner had to go in the portal. And I do think this was a very good get for Florida State because this guy has played big time football. He's ready. He's ready. He's playing in Tallahassee. He's ready to go. And I think it's the perfect guy to be your RB1 as you move in Usman Kroma. As you move him in to be the future RB1 last year as a true freshman. I got all hyped about him. Everybody got all hyped about him. I did a spotlight on Kroma, even though he hadn't played a down yet. A physical beast. Physically, he was ready. It's tough to be a true freshman running back. There's a lot of guys who, they need that 1 year. But this guy's a beast. He's a hard runner, running for hard yards. He's going to be ready this year. You've got to know. So Kroma and Wisner, that's a pretty dang good running back combination. As Morris Simmons says, we got running backs, we got wide receivers. So, I like that. I like that Kroma is not being marked in pen as RB1 to begin the season. I like that he's getting the cowbell next to him, Wisner, to get Kroma more into the, facing the live action. Hopefully sometime during the season, Kroma gets to be all lathered up. He gets the ball a lot. He gets to show everybody what he can do. Running back, solid, really good for the Seminoles. The wide receiver room. Now, I love Deuce Robinson at Penn State. When Florida State got him into the portal last year, I thought it was an absolute home run, and it was. 56 receptions, 1,081 yards receiving, 19.3 average per reception, 6 rushing touchdowns. Lob it up to him. Let him get that football down the sideline, put him on the outside, throw it up, and there is where he does the damage. Not a speedster, but we're going to get to the speedster in a second here at Florida State. But this is a guy, possession receiver, big target, but yet he found success downfield. You just got to get that ball up to him. You just got to throw it up to him and let him go get it. Deuce Robinson, fantastic season last year. And I think he's got the combination of Wisner and Chroma in the backfield for Florida State. I think it's a really good blend. We talk about blend when it comes to realignment. I think that's a really good blend in the backfield. The wide receiver combination of Robinson and Makai Denzi. Makai Denzi is just a little bit faster than yours truly. He can get me, I think he can get me in the 40. Makai Denzi, 27 catches, 570-some yards, over 21 yards per reception. Woo! And again, he's like Chroma, right? He played enough. He played enough last year. And now he's ready to go. And that is what's interesting about the Seminoles this year. If Chroma, Makai Denzi, if they take off, Mike Norvell's job might be saved. It might be saved. Sam asked Bama about Danzy. Mohr Simmons, world-class speed. Sid Irish says Florida State goes 7-5. Now, they did need help on some defense. There has been some recruiting misses. I think getting Weissner was a fantastic portal get on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, this man was all over the place for Southern Mississippi. Chris Jones. He was in on everything last year. 51 solo tackles. Led the conference in assisted tackles. Combination of 135 tackles, linebacker position, 9.5 tackle for losses, 3.5 sacks, 1 interceptions. This dude was all over the place. They're counting on him. They need him. He could be the linebacker for Florida State. Look, very good get. Very good get. Sam says Chris Jones gives me some hope versus the run. So again, are we sure? Are we sure that Mike Norvell doesn't save his job this year? I know a lot of people don't want him to save his job. But there is some stuff going on. They do have some players. Let's take a look at the schedule. Because it has ticking time bombs all over it. I mean, SMU, that is a tough game. Come on, man. That is a tough game. Monday night, September 7th, you're at home, national television, everyone's going to be watching it. Everyone's going to be talking about Mike Norvell. Florida State is going to have a game against New Mexico State to get their feet wet. SMU is, I got SMU winning that game. Let's pretend that SMU does win that game. And then you got to go on the road to Alabama. Alabama's looking for revenge. And then your next ACC game, your second one of the season, is at home against Virginia, who went to the ACC championship game last year, at Louisville. That's going to be a rough one. At Miami. That's going to be a rough one. At home against Clemson. Then, Boston College, Pittsburgh, North Carolina State, Florida. But here's the problem with that. I go back to Ashton Daniels. Look at the. I know that the game is way more than the quarterback matchup. I get it, but look at the quarterback matchups. I mean, I like pretty much everybody's quarterback better than I like Florida State, and I think that's where it all hinges on. C.J. Bailey, North Carolina State, Heinsolt, Pittsburgh. Of course, Mensah. We'll see what happens with Keelan Russell at Alabama. It's all going to go back to this dude. The man has thrown 24 touchdowns, 22 interceptions, and he does have some talent around him. He does have some talent around him. He does. But he's got to go to a couple of whole different levels. If I run down the schedule right here, SMU, I got us a loss. Alabama loss. So I got them 2-2. Virginia, I'll give it to them, 3-2. Louisville, 3-3, 3-4. 3-5, 4-5, 5-5, 5-6. You got to win that home game against Florida. Maybe 6-6. This is where I got Florida State finishing in a way too early order of finish prediction. I got Florida State coming in 10th. Again, Florida State's got some big-time talent. They've got some dudes that might absolutely become superstars. Mekhi Danzy for 1. Usman Kroma for 2. Wisner, if he gets back to him the way he played a couple of years ago, there's another dude. Deuce Robinson is going to be able to help Ashton Daniels out. Deuce Robinson is going to give something to Ashton Daniels that he's probably never had. A guy with a catch radius from here to Boston. But I still can't put Florida State higher than 10. 7-5, 6-6 type of season. That Virginia game, okay, maybe they beat Virginia. I don't have them ahead of North Carolina State. I don't have them ahead of Virginia Tech. I don't have them ahead of California, Clemson, SMU, Louisville, or Miami. 6-6, 7-5. Is that going to be enough to save the job for Mike Norvell? Let me know. Let me know how wrong I got it once again, doing a spotlight on our 66th team this season. We've got 2 more Power 4 programs to do. Arkansas, and then we're going to finish up. You must be a 10. You must be from Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see. Arkansas and Tennessee, the last 2 teams we're going to do on our spotlight. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Steve and Vitt need at least 7 wins. Otherwise, it'd be crazy to keep Norvell. Virginia could beat Florida State again, yeah. Yep. E. Gibson, I believe, in Norvell is a Don Rickles take. Believing in Norvell is a Don Rickles take. Edward, the Auburn Tiger. Florida State will get the SEC treatment this year moving forward. Buckeye Greg, SEC, won't even sniff the title game for the fourth consecutive year. Facts, it will be an all Big Ten national title game again this year. Oh, and Stormy Cyclone. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Iowa State Cyclone. We did do a super chat. We did do a spotlight on the Cyclones not too long ago. There we go. $5 holler. Happier than a gopher in fresh dirt. Finally got some rain for the crops. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Stormy Cyclone. That is very good news. Excellent news. Got to have some rain for the crops. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm also in non-college football news. I'm getting myself ready. I'm getting myself prepared to be disappointed once again. The re-elected mayor of Louisville City is getting ready to be voted back into office. As the news, it looks like the steam is that LeBron James is going to be making his trip back home to Cleveland. It's not official, but that's all the reporting that's going on tonight. Everybody now thinks that Cleveland Cavaliers are in the lead to get LeBron James to finish up his career. And once again, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the state of Minnesota, can't quite close the deal. Okay. No, that is a song, Go Black 45. I'm able to use that song. Every song that I use is a song that YouTube permits. There's not going to be a copy strike. I can play that the whole way. So I always make sure I do not get in trouble with YouTube. All right. We're going to open up the phone lines. That's all that we've got in the monologue. The spotlight on a 66 team, the Florida State Seminoles. Look, they do have an interesting team. They've got some dudes. Watching Chroma now with a year under his belt, you know he's going to be running like a freight train. Danzy, I can't wait to watch him again. Deuce Robinson is completely the opposite wide receiver than Dan. I mean, Ashton Daniels, do you have it? Do you have the ability to get to the next level? A couple of levels. If he does, well, maybe the Seminoles are going to spring a couple of upsets this year, just like they did last year against Alabama. Okay, we're going to open up the phone line, 763-260-1065. 1-333-763-260. 1333. We're just talking college football tonight, or you can talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. Anything you want to talk about tonight. Just chop it up. Rock and Ran is in the house, throwing elbows at the Fighting Irish.
From
Edward the Auburn Tiger.
Edward the Auburn Tiger. The floor is yours. How you doing, sir? Thanks for calling. Happy 4th.
Greg, we are doing well. Happy 4th of July to you and your family and all of the PATC family. What an honor it is to be alive to celebrate 250 years of this great nation, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I just want to call in and say, Greg, I've been going back and I guess over the last month and listening to all your episodes, what you've been putting out and how you've been grinding.
Yep.
And I want to say, like a true master, man, you have been laying down the peaks. And when you really step back and if you look at each episode as a dot, then you step back and begin to connect the dots that you've been putting out. Man, it's left me with about a good 85 to 90% chance that this quick strike realignment is imminent. The dots are just connecting, Greg. It's not the hand that you see that makes the difference. It's the hand that you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been describing a hand that it's just in the media you're not seeing. Whether it's the North Carolina meeting with the SEC and the hot bubble of action, whether it's the Florida State money perch, putting out the information that his subsidiaries are talking to North Carolina's, and then they're hearing from their circles that teams like North Carolina, Florida State, Virginia Tech, Clemson have been notified by the SEC. And then you mentioned that the guy from Yahoo, I don't know why I can never remember his name, but he mentioned that the ESPN and the SEC could be in early negotiations, and just so forth and so on. You've been putting out all this information that just solid stuff, and it just leads you to one conclusion. And I believe, Greg, that through you, you're not the only one, but because of what's been displayed through you, man, this mindset of this quick strike is catching fire throughout the college, I believe, football nation. I mean, people are talking about this. People are anticipating it. And I believe this, once the toothpaste is out the tube, there's just no way of it going back in. And I really feel like for the SEC that this is an opportunity. They're seizing this opportunity politically, socially, financially. They're seizing it educationally. I mean, you talk about a time to do quick strike realignment. It is right now for the SEC. I mean, if they do this, they can blame it on the bill. Say, listen, the bill made us add 4 teams. The bill made us go into these negotiations, early negotiations with ESPN. The bill has brought us to the place that we're going to be offering, negotiations with the players. I mean, they could blame it all on the bill, and it will be received because everybody knows what's going on in the college football landscape. And I just feel like they're feeling really giddy. And I don't believe that they meet with North Carolina not having some knowledge that North Carolina is going to be able to detach itself from North Carolina State and solve that mystery. I don't see them just wasting time meeting with them if that's not on the table when they meet, Rick. And you're putting out too solid of information for someone to leave these episodes and think that this quick strike is not going to happen. Because it's just too much credible information you're putting out, which I want to say once again. I mean, if it was not for your show, I mean, man, we would probably be in the dark concerning what's going on. But because there is a peak around the corner, because you're grinding, because you laying on the line, man. We're in a place. We're in the front seat of the theater, Greg.
Okay, but put down the popcorn for a moment, Edward. Put down the popcorn. Take a sip of your pop, and I just want to make everything. We do not believe anything is imminent yet here at Peek Around the Corner. You might believe that, and that's fine. Most people might think that. That's fine. I cannot report that because we don't truly think that's true. There is a very important comment that you made where it's about the toothpaste. You can't get it back in the tube. That is one part of this that is really interesting because now that we've learned that there has been elevated talks, that is going to be very difficult to get that toothpaste back in the tube. That I can understand. But we don't think there's any. We do not think, and we could absolutely be wrong. We could be wrong. So everybody, we could be wrong, but we don't think anything is operational yet.
And that's my opinion. I think I'm trying to make that clear. It's not yours.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not yours, but it's my opinion. But Greg, look at this. I mean, you have the key treasure outside of probably Texas, the key treasure realignment piece on the board that you have been wanting for ain't no telling how long the SEC has been wanting North Carolina. And you got them talking. You got them conversating. You got them planning. You got them feeling the same way you're feeling. There is no way if North Carolina gives you an opportunity to take them that you delay taking them. There's just no way you do that. You seize the moment. You close the deal because you might not get this opportunity. When we see what happened to Virginia, how the political landscapes can change and financial things can change, I just don't see them having them on the table. Everything's coming together for it to happen, and them saying, you know what? I think we're going to delay this 2 more years. I don't see the SEC did not get here thinking that way. ESPN did not get here thinking that way. They seize opportunities, and when you have North Carolina, if you would have told me based on some of the things you read in the media, how you got people say the NC State backpack and the political structure there in North Carolina, if you would have told me, like you just said this last episode, that they have already met, I mean, that was earth shaking. I mean, that was mind blowing that they already met, which means this is way further down the road than probably most people are thinking. I just don't see SEC Sankey. I don't see those presidents.
Now the SEC, I mean, maybe there has been some, and I don't know how it would happen, but maybe there's been some communication, some work done behind the scenes between North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and the Board of Governors. I don't think that's legal, but whatever. I don't know how. I don't think the Southeastern Conference can be all that confident on what the Board of Governors would do unless there's been some work behind the background. So I would guard against absolutely declaring that the Southeastern Conference knows how the Board of Governors thing is going to go. Unless just a bunch of things we don't know, which possibly could be true, that there has been some work done, but it hasn't been in the public, although we believe it has to be in the public. That is a big, but as of right now, we are going to consider Peek Around the Corner. We are going to consider that whole Board of Governors a big mystery for the SEC. But go ahead, sir.
Yeah, and like I said, I just don't think they meet, and them not have clarity of what's happening behind the scenes, what they're detaching from that situation, because they're just a wasted meeting. I mean, why meet and discuss things and they know they can't even be detached. And let me say this, Greg, and I'll get off the line and let other callers call. It just seems like man, this with everything you put out. I've never, and I've been on your show, but I haven't heard every episode, and I could be wrong when I'm about to make this statement.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a time that you have said that there was a hot bubble of action that took place, and it wasn't shortly followed up with conference realignment. I just ain't never heard that on your shows. I have never heard it. This could be the first time. It would be the first time. But I've been listening to you for years, and I listen intently. And I'm sure when I call in, you hear me say what I thought you said, and I try to be detailed about what you said. I've never heard you say we have a hot bubble of action, and that it's not followed up with conference realignment. This will be the first time. This will be the first time. And I am a Greg Flugar PATC believer. I know you're saying it's not imminent. You probably couldn't even say it's imminent if you could. I don't know. But based on the information that you have given your callers, and they really just took a step back and just followed the dots. If this was a court case and you was bringing all the evidence for there to be a realignment, man, it would be, it looks like 85 to 90% that this train is coming home, and it's coming home soon. And given the attitude of our presidents in the SEC, they are mad, they are bitter, they know that it took a lot to get us all here in terms of what's been said and done. Especially, we got 9 conference games, and we still have a college football playoff that's not changed. All of this is on the table, Greg, and they're mad. They ain't trusting nobody, and I believe they're gonna seize this opportunity while it's hot. Thank you, Greg, for all that you do. I'll listen in to other callers. Happy 4th of July.
You got it, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you. Great call, Edward. Call again, sir. Wow. Edward, the Auburn Tiger, coming in strong, leaving no doubt. I guess there's some breaking news that a basketball player, Kentucky guard Kerr Kulissa, has been arrested by the FBI. The Kentucky guard has been arrested by the FBI.
Call from
Rick?
Rick, the floor is yours. How you doing, sir?
Hey, happy 4th.
You too, sir.
The Edward has convicted you. You've been convicted of being imminent.
Yep. And that's, he could be right. He could be right. I don't believe, even up till July 4th, I still don't think it's imminent because I trust the people that I talk with, although there's so much work that has been done, more than we thought. And we could be wrong, Rick. So, and if we're wrong, well, if this thing pops 2 weeks from now, I'll come on here and do what you guys want me to do. Eat a bloody cheeseburger if I have to. But go ahead, sir. Floor is yours.
Yuck.
Yuck.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's postulate something.
Mm-hmm.
The vote is coming to the Senate soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be scheduled next week.
I don't know. I was told by somebody, July 3rd. When is July 13th?
Unlucky.
Yeah, that's a Monday. Maybe that Monday.
Okay. Well, today's the 4th.
But that could be
that's
bad
9
information.
days.
So.
Okay, that's 9 days away.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's scheduled on the 13th, as you've previously reported,
Yeah.
what happens when it's scheduled?
Some people are going to be scheduling meetings across the ACC landscape, according to the Florida State Money Purge.
Well, when you take that combined with what you've already reported, it kind of gives you a sense that something big is coming.
Yeah, lately I've been sitting here in the studio and I've been thinking, I completely understand why. I completely understand why people believe that, and I can completely understand if that happened. But in my mind, as I'm reporting this stuff, at this point, what I've tried to do, and I didn't know I was doing it as the process was happening because I didn't know what was going to happen next. But now that I look back on it, maybe I did a misstep. But what I've tried to do is reported that there's been a lot of positioning, a lot of talking. Some of it's been combination of schools. Some of it's been single schools. It is way advanced. And now it's even more advanced than we thought. Now they're setting up the possible quick strike. And I couldn't believe that. I had to report that. Then Ross Dellinger, thank God that article came out. But then I also had to say, whoa. But nothing is imminent. In fact, the Big Ten would not even want to do that. They might have to. And all that sounds contradictory, but it's really not. It's everybody's got their finger on the trigger. They've got the ammunition loaded, but no one has fired a bullet yet. And I don't. And there are reasons not to fire that shot yet. So that's what I've tried to portray, and I don't think I think all of it's consistent, but it's a very difficult story to report because, look, and you're right, Rick, and Edward the Auburn Tigers correct. There's a lot of people saying the same thing. There's been a lot of toothpaste out of the tube. And how do you get that back in? There's been a lot of stuff, advanced talks, the shot clock, Ross Dellinger. There's a lot of stuff here. Can you pull it all the way back and not do anything? Can you do that? We're going to find out because right now I still don't think anything is imminent. As crazy as that sounds, and I know it sounds illogical, inconsistent, but I believe it is consistent. But I can understand why people think it's not consistent. Go ahead, Rick. It's your call, sir.
Yeah, I think you're being cautiously optimistic. If you wanted to use a phrase for viewing something, if you consider it optimistic.
Yeah, and I don't consider it either way.
But cautiously, and there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah. Because
if I'm to understand correctly, you get a heavy dose of input, from where you get your input. You get a heavy dose from the Big Ten side and a moderate dose from the SEC side.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair. And it's also fair that everything that I have reported thus far, none of it yet matches what we knew, what was operational, what was going on with the USC story, what we knew, what was going on in the hot bubble of action with Colorado and the Big 12, what we knew, what was going on with Oregon and Washington. None of what we have reported, and there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of preparation. This story is so much more complicated. There's so many more variables. But operationally, everything that we have reported, we think we know, none of that matches the level of something being imminent than the other stories that we have covered, and we knew what was going on.
Right, and I think you expressed that a show or two ago.
Yeah.
The differences between how that played out and how this is playing out.
Yeah.
This has taken a different road.
Yes. Yeah.
And what really makes it different is, and it's the part that bothers me the most, but it doesn't really matter that it bothers me. That's okay. It doesn't take much to bother over, but is that this is in the hands of the SEC, and the Big Ten is reactionary. They're going to react to what the SEC does. They're not taking the first shot. Correct?
Well, they may end up taking the first shot if they get intelligence to believe that the SEC is about to take the first shot. The Big Ten would rather not take. The Big Ten would rather not. Go ahead.
What basis do you have for saying that?
Look, I'll say it this way. The Big Ten is still in pursuit of North Carolina. So, if the Big Ten believed that things have become operational for the Southeastern Conference to expand to the 17th school, then the Big Ten would, possibly do that one big last effort and open the doors and say, look, that's what I'm trying to. I am not reporting that the SEC is most definitely going to be the first ones to act, but I do think they're the chalk for lots of different reasons. They're more motivated, they're more nimble, they can execute it easier, and I understand Big Ten frustration because part of the reason why I got this information from some of the sourcing was the frustration that the Big Ten was going to let the SEC take the first strike. That was part of the motivation for part of the sourcing. Not all of it, not even half of it, but part of it. So go ahead, sir. That's about all I can say.
How many times have you told the viewers about the SEC just not being interested in you, Big Ten?
Yeah.
80 or 90 times.
Yes.
Well, it's time to tell the Big Ten that UNC just isn't interested in you.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not interested in you, Big Ten. They want to go to the SEC. So get over it, Big Ten, and do what you have to do. Because they're just not into you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a happy 4th.
You got it. I appreciate it. Great call, sir. And one of the you can call it speculation, and that's fine. one of the reasons why the Big Ten might be not as motivated to be the first strike is because their top targets besides North Carolina would not be are probably mostly locked in. I'll get to that in a moment.
From
Mohr Simmons.
Morris Simmons, the floor is yours. Go ahead, sir. Happy 4th,
Yes,
sir.
yes, thank you. Happy 4th to you as well, and to everybody. One of the things I was going to say, Greg, I think that was Rick was the last caller.
Yeah.
And he's spot on. The Big Ten is playing reactor. I mean, they waiting for somebody else waiting for the SEC make the move. I never could understand that. You're not at a position of strength when you waiting for somebody else to make the first move. You from a position of weakness. At that point, what I don't understand is this: you done been after Notre Dame for God knows how many years, and Notre Dame done told the Big Ten no several times. I mean, that's almost like a stalker. You know, Big Ten looking like a stalker. You chasing down Notre Dame. Now you chasing down UNC, but UNC is in handcuffs by their state. So I mean, it get to a point. You got to look you got to look for what's on the table and make the move with what's on the table. What's on the table to take right now? That's what you got to go for. Right now, you out here playing around, and you're gonna be on the outside looking in when you see SEC making strong moves. You got to go and make the first move. And the commissioner for the Big Ten should be trying to whip them presidents in the conference. Hey, we need to start making some moves here because we got Amazon that want to come in. They gonna want big brands, and also you want to build up your rating, your TV rating numbers in the Big Ten. Right now you're so you're top heavy by 3 or 4 schools. Everybody else down. If I look at from top to bottom, from Big Ten, SEC, I take the SEC every day. Granted, you got some good pieces over there in the Big Ten, but when you look at the bottom compared to the bottom of the SEC, they still draw numbers. That's why they undervalued. At the end of the day, SEC knows their value. ESPN know they're gonna have to pony up the money. So when these schools leave out of the ACC, a lot of that money that they were paying out to the ACC, that money is going to wind up going right over to the over here to the SEC, to the SEC. Florida State going to grease the wheel for anybody else that want to hitch a ride into the SEC. I look at it like this: Big Ten had opportunity to go ahead snatch Florida State with Miami for that to be to me that made sense because that would have been a good partner for Miami for a travel partner. But now I mean, if you look at it on the map, Miami all the way at the bottom of Florida, who the travel partner? Because Florida State going over, who's the travel partner? That's a whole lot of flying Miami going to be doing. But I digress.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. I appreciate it. Great call, Morris Simmons. A lot of people agree with you, sir.
All right.
All right, sir. Beautiful.
All right. Thank you.
So we here at Peek Around the Corner, we got a situation unfolding. I got a big old storm. I got a whole bunch of stuff hitting the window next to me. I have the shade down. We are in the midst of the storm here in Maple Grove, Minnesota. We're going to be in for it for the next 3 hours. We are going to have to close down this program. I'm going to have to take care of the garden in the balcony. I got to get some pots in. I got to get on and move on. So I do appreciate everybody for joining us. We did the Florida State Seminoles Spotlight. Woo! We did the Florida State Seminole Spotlight, Team 66. We've got Arkansas and we've got Tennessee left to do, and then we'll go on with the G6 programs, the top 10 or 12, whatever programs that we think could make the playoffs. We got to get going. I got to get going. Way too, that sounds too, a little bit too extreme outside. So I want to thank you all for joining us. I do want to thank, we got a couple of super chats. Noah Berman and Stormy Cyclone. Thank you so much for your generosity. I very much appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, Sunday, July 5th. Have a safe 4th. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please, you all have a good one. Take care of each other. And as always, God, family,